Hi, Pep. Hope you're well.
Okay.
Good. And first things first, we should really, again, check on the COVID situation at the club. I take it no further cases. So when are we likely to see Virgil, Fabinho and Curtis Jones back? How's Thiago? And separate to that, how's Jordan Henderson and has he recovered from his cold?
Yeah, I want to use this opportunity first to make a compliment to the team, because it was not easy, the game, to go to Spurs away and lose your spine in the days coming up with Virgil, Fabinho and Thiago. But losing your captain on match day, it's a tough one. We all know that Jordan reflects our willpower, our determination, and losing him for the team was massive. So that's why I want to make the compliment, because the COVID cases really influence our preparation. And what I like about football and I like about our team is that the moment Jurgen does his meeting, the last meeting, we leave everything behind us and we only look towards the game to attack the match day. And this is what the team did. If you saw the first half against Tottenham, that we had 70% possession away from home against a fresh Tottenham, with the changes we had to make last minute, it's just a big compliment for the whole team and their mindset. They created a mindset to attack the game, and I'm happy with that. So yeah, it's still the same. Virgil, Fabinho, Thiago and Curtis Jones, of course, are not in the building, are at home. I have to say that I just pray for all the ones who have to go to hospital. Look, we are young and healthy, and we hope that we don't have to make this drive. But these are the times that we have to think about these people as well. Health always comes first. So, and that's what we're going to do with them as well. We will not rush them back. We will take our time. This virus is really unpredictable. We have to see how each one, if they get sick, if they have real symptoms, we will not rush them back. We will take our time, and that's the most important.
Pep, we understand the club was in favour of a break in the schedule to combat the rising COVID cases across the Premier League. So what is the feeling now that after yesterday's meeting, as it stands, that break isn't going to happen?
No, we always make our recommendations. Each year, we speak with the Premier League, we speak with the FA, we speak with the refs, and we give our honest opinion to improve the quality of the game. And that's what we did again in this meeting. And we really believe that if you want to improve the quality of the game, first of all, we love to work in England and we love the Premier League, the intensity, the quality of our position, the playing every 3 days. We love it. So don't get me wrong, but we all have to respect recovery. If you want a quality game, it's important that the players don't accumulate fatigue, because that creates, for example, if our players are more fatigued, they make not as quick the decisions. They are not as brave. They are not as creative, not a lot of spontaneous actions. We will play the ball to the side and play instead of forward. So the quality of the game goes down, the more fatigue there is, and we have to respect the fact that a Premier League player needs 72 hours to recover. So if we want more quality. The second thing is, in all our recommendations, we have to respect as well the recovery process, because it will reduce the risk of injury.
And finally for me, Pep, and it's going back to the weekend, and obviously the controversies that we saw with VAR. Have there been any conversations with Mike Riley or anyone else from PGMOL what went on as regards the penalty shout on Diogo and the Harry Kane challenge on Andy Robertson? And if not, will you be seeking any conversations with the PGMOL, or what do you want to say to them?
No, because everybody saw what happened. And I think the VAR is a good thing that it's in football, because it can help to make the big decisions right. At least everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. If we make big mistakes, Jurgen and myself, we get punished. If players make big mistakes, they get punished. But if referees make big mistakes, probably or usually the teams get punished or the players get punished as well. And that's not correct. And I'm not talking about the small mistakes in the game, because that's football. It goes so quick. But the VAR is there to help the referee. And what I still don't understand is that why the VAR is always a separate person. Why the VAR is not part of a team. So you have a referee team, and because there are split seconds, the guy who helps the referee on the pitch needs to know the referee with everything he has. They need to be a team because together they are responsible. If there's always changes, that will not work. And that's the same that would be if Jurgen every week has a different assistant manager. That's exactly the same. You need, and I wish we had VAR to make better decisions as coaches, because then I will not make mistakes.
Thank you very much, Vinny. Much appreciated. Juliet for a couple, then Ian Abrams from TalkSport for a couple, Carl Markham from Press Association, and Chris Coughlin to finish. Would be the open.
Hey, Pep. Just one of the players that Vinny just asked you about, Jordan Henderson. How is he? Because I know he had a little bit of a bug, didn't he? A bit of a cold. Is he okay?
Jordan is Jordan. He called yesterday already to train again. He had a heavy call, and we know how quick that can come and go. But he pushes himself immediately, and he's this the kind of play you have to slow down. And luckily, we have 24 of these players.
What's the I mean, if we can talk about this cup tie, hopefully it will go ahead. But what is the situation in terms of the team going into this one? And I imagine there's going to be changes, isn't there, from the game at Tottenham?
Yeah, but we don't look like games like this. We only look to improve our team, to prepare the team, and for us, it's much more important what we are going to do than who's going to play. For an example, and if you saw our lineup against AC Milan away, everybody would think, or was thinking probably of you guys like, wow, that's brave. And we only thought game on. So it's in the beginning of the season, we always we speak with our players to say, we want to create memories together. We want to create special games together. We want to create special games with the fans together. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We try to make it a cup night for the fans, full of desire, but all we have. And for that, we need fresh legs as well.
So from just finally for me, from the Liverpool side, you've got a team to put together out there. I'm just thinking because there's so many games in doubt, isn't there, with what's going on at the moment?
Yeah, but that is a fair question, of course. And I think every club has a completely different situation. So you can only look at it as an individual. Leicester had their cases like 2 weeks ago. So probably these boys are all back from illness, and hopefully they're all fine. You saw that Tottenham, even after 10 or 12 days, when they come back, they can play really well, these boys. So we prepare a strong Leicester team. We prepare a Leicester team what's a typical Brendan Rodgers team, what will open up the pitch, will want to have the ball, wants to make the game, wants to be in the opposition half, with real technicians in the center, with speed on top, with Barnes who has a brilliant season, or Daka or Vardy as the striker. So we will prepare to play against a strong Leicester team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. Ian from TalkSport.
Hi, Pep. How are you? You well?
I'm okay.
Good. Just a couple from me. First of all, how important now is this tournament? We're in the quarterfinal stage. It's being rumoured there might only be a one-legged semi-final. How important is this tournament now to Liverpool?
We don't prioritise. We are not like this. The only thing we'll prioritise is the next game. Make a lineup, create a plan, prepare well, and attack match day. That's what we prioritize. So that's what we're going to do. That's one of our strengths, and that's part of our club mentality, to see the next game as the final. That's what the fans expect from us. And that's what we're going to do. We will put everything into this game, our hunger, our desire. The players really look forward to play football. So we love this game too much.
And my other question is going back to COVID. We've heard managers talking about taking a break, a circuit breaker, to try and get over this problem. Why do you think that the chief executives of the club yesterday, all clubs yesterday, when they had that Premier League meeting, voted against what the experts, in this case the managers, were saying beforehand, i.e. let's take a break?
Ian, I'm just going to jump in there. I don't think it's correct to say there was a vote, but you'd have to check that with the Premier League. And also, I think, Pep, just to be clear, outlined at the beginning what our club's position was. I don't think you can necessarily speak for other clubs, but I just wanted to make clear there wasn't a vote, as far as I know, but you can check that with the Premier League.
But for me, the experts are not the managers. For me, the experts are the scientists and the doctors. And we should follow their guidelines. And they should be asked, the Premier League should ask them not the CEOs, not the managers. They should ask them, because health always comes on position number one above everything. The guys who are driving now to hospital, who are sick, they only have one thing in their mind: to get better. That's what my mom always said. In life, you want a lot of things, always a lot of things. But when you're sick, you just want one thing. That's getting better. So I pray for them. And what I want to say with that is that we are in this job as well to protect our players, to protect our staff, not just the players and our staff, also the family members. That's why we have all these good measurements in place, and we try to cut the chain with our testing and with how we deal inside the AXA. And we have to follow the protocols and the guidelines of the doctors and the scientists. That's if there's one common behavior in this pandemic over the last years, is that we always acted too late, always. And that's what we went from one health crisis into the other.
Cool. Good luck anyway. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Stay safe. Carl Markham and then Chris Coffin, and then we're going to go to the embargo section, which I could do with some hands up forms. We've got Dom at the moment. Carl, over to you.
Hi, Pep.
Carl.
All right. With the Premier League saying that you have to play the games, you've got 14 players available. I'm just wondering if that places extra demand on some of your younger players who would normally come in for a game like this or be around the fringes of the first team. Do you have to, rely on them a little bit more?
Yeah, but we always relied on them. One of our ideas inside this club is to have, I think the one thing for health, if you want to have a healthy club, is to have a proper inside pathway, that the academy is important, that the academy has a chance to improve inside our club to become first team players. That's why we construct our squad how we construct it. That's why we give so many young players opportunities. Example, we made, I think, 5 Liverpool debuts were this year in the League Cup. So that's healthy. That's something we want. One, because we have the talent, so it's not that we don't have it. So, but we want to give them the opportunity to grow inside our club. And for me, that's only a good thing. So if it means that players are unavailable, I see that as a challenge. That's one, of course. We see it as a challenge. But second, we see it as something what it will create new players. And that's what we want as well. So it's only a good thing.
Okay. Talking to players who are not available, is Divock recovered from his knock yet? Is he likely to be in contention for the squad?
He's still not training with the team, so he will not be. He's our top scorer in this league.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Carl. And then finally for this section, Chris, and then we go to the embargoes, and we've got the hands up. So, Chris.
Hi, Pep. It's understood that Liverpool were among the group or among a group of clubs who were pushing for the postponement of game week 20, so games between the 28th and the 30th. Just wondering if you were aware of the reasons behind that, and would postponing those games have been something that you would have been in favour of?
Yeah, Jurgen made this point really clear after the game. So we really believe that we are in the position as well to protect our players. We think it's absurd that we have to play inside 48 hours for the reasons I just explained, because it's a much higher risk of injury, and second of all, the quality of the game will not be as good. How I try to explain as well, what happens if players are more fatigued, you don't get the offensive attitude we want, and the offensive quality we want. And second of all, football is a team sport. So the moment we lose players, and we have to push players through these situations, it becomes the risk becomes just bigger. So that's what Jurgen tried to explain. That's what I tried to explain. So I think it's absurd. The teams who you have to ask them why they want to play in these kind of circumstances. But I think it would be a wise decision also because of our individual situation here with the COVID cases being this fresh, that we had more time before the next game.